Hi everyone, I am Sarah with Divine Love Healing. Welcome to my channel. I see that I have several new subscribers lately, so thank you so much for taking the time to watch my videos and subscribe. I would love to hear from you as far as what drew you to my channel, if there was something specific that you liked that I was doing in past videos or things that you would like to see going forward. I love hearing your ideas. So if you are new, I do have a video that I recorded within the last, I think, probably couple of weeks. I will put a link down to that below. It was a collective energy update, and I provided quite a lengthy intro that is time-stamped. If you would like to learn more about me, my background, kind of my journey, how I got to start doing the tarot readings and where I'm at now, that might be something kind of helpful for you. I've also put some links to videos that I think are pretty timeless, and if you were feeling drawn to my energy and my channel for a reason, you may want to check those out. They are guides to a spiritual awakening, and or signs you are having a spiritual awakening, I should say, but it kind of provides the guide points, at least the things that I knew I was going through, something profound, and kind of what led me to realize what was happening. So that might be helpful for you. Also, angel numbers, sign synchronicities, kind of download overview if you're seeing repeating numbers and different things like that. You might want to check that one out. I also have a video that I think is really helpful. It's a deck walkthrough of my triggers and shadows self-created deck. Obviously, it's a promotional video for my deck, but I think at the end of the day, it's important for everybody to understand, what the common themes are as far as patterns, behaviors, triggers. We all have shadow. We all have inner child wounds, things that affect us as adults and in our relationships. So you would get to see my walkthrough of the 55 different concepts that I created and that I felt were important for people to understand. Sorry guys, I just had a really loud car horn start going off outside, so that threw me off for a moment. I live in an apartment building, and I have 4 cats, so you may encounter some interruptions or some craziness throughout that. So I just try to keep it real here. I share my own experiences, and I, am just my true authentic self. And, I feel like that's the best way to be, right? We're all connected. We're all on the same path. And I feel like, opening up myself in that way, letting you see my face, it helps give you that comfort of that as if we were having a face-to-face reading. So at some point, I do have the equipment. I may change things up, just have the camera focus on the cards, but we'll see how things progress. I do tend to try to at least let you guys know which cards, which decks I'm using. Some of them are my own self-creations that are for sale. Some of them are by other readers. So if you ever don't catch it, if I say it quickly, if I don't say it, you want to know, oh, what was that specific card that came out? Where was that deck? Where'd you get it? I'm happy to answer those questions for you. You can either shoot me an email or you can just comment below. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I do have a few videos that I've done like this in the past, but I try to do just various types of things, right? So my channel doesn't focus all the time on messages from the other side, but with it being Mother's Day weekend, I realize that this can be, a very challenging, difficult time for people. Whether you have lost a mother, whether you're a mother that lost a child, whether you are a mother who, lost your spouse or your child's father, somebody that was a mother figure to you, whether you've wanted children and you couldn't have them on your own, you couldn't have children, just difficult time for you. So, with that caveat, as has been the case with some of these other videos that I've done, the intention that I set forth when I go to do these is that this is a message from the other side. This is a message from somebody who has crossed over. But sometimes when I'm channeling these messages, it's somebody who maybe you're estranged from. So a lot of times I will get a sense of whether the person has crossed or whether they are still alive and just not in your life anymore. Some sort of estrangement, maybe somebody that maybe if you were adopted, you don't know your real mother, something like that. So lots of different possibilities for the messages that are going to come through. But keep in mind, this is a general reading, so this there's somebody out there that needs to hear the specific messages are coming through, and if it doesn't resonate for you, you may want to watch the other ones. If you chose one, watch 2 or 3. You may find messages here or there. Sometimes I'll have random things come out, right? You think the reading's going in one direction and then it's going in another, so just keep that in mind. I do take personal readings. I have live sessions over Zoom. I also offer pre-recorded sessions as well. Obviously, you don't get the interaction with me, to have like the conversation, to have the back and forth, to ask questions. But those readings, recorded ones, are a little bit cheaper. That information can be found on my website link, which is also down below. So before we get started, do just have a general update, or I should say message that kind of came through. I felt really called. If you guys watch my videos, a lot of times I don't wear patterns that much. I tend to wear a lot of just black or like Aztec print or things like that. But I felt really called to put butterflies on for some reason, and also wear this butterfly necklace that I have. So the blue butterflies especially stand out to me on this dress and obviously on this necklace. So that could be just a sign for you specifically. If your loved one sends you blue butterflies, you see them all the time, or perhaps they loved them, or it's something that you love. Also, very strange, I came across this piece of honey calcite when I was getting ready for the video, and it was just kind of in a random place that I don't normally keep my crystals. And I know it's honey calcite, so it's got that real like kind of thick yellow. But also right around this time, I kept seeing something from a local place around here that's having a honey festival in the next couple of weeks. So I don't know if you had a loved one that was obsessed with honey. I mean, that wanted it in everything, on everything, honey flavored stuff. Or maybe they worked with bees and made honey, processed honey. So just before we get started, I wanted to throw those messages out. Now, I am going to timestamp these. So if you guys, saw the picture at the beginning that was on the still when you clicked on the video, I have these intention stones here. Number 1 is going to be family. Number 2 is remember. And number 3 is strength. Now, I do have, if you like these, if you're drawn to these, some of them have, some planetary different symbols on the back. They have gold flecks. They're Reiki infused. I do have these for sale on my website. They're various sizes. I have 20 different sayings. They're $16.95, but the more you purchase, there is a discount that goes down. So that information, again, is on the website. So I think we're ready to get going, guys. Actually, before we do, though, I will walk through really quick the decks that I'm using, just in case I forget in each reading as I get enmeshed in the energy. So the 2 decks of mine that we're going to use are the divination deck. I've got 2 cards pulled from this one. These have numbers, initials, and some timing cards that might give some insight into me to tap into, a person with a specific first name, last name, place, something like that. The other deck using that is my creation is the Christmas Tarot. I know that might seem a little bit strange. I know we're not in Christmas season, but this deck, I like to use it year round. I just love the images, but I feel like it's going to help me tap into kind of the family dynamic that maybe was at play because of the holiday theme that is here. And it's not just Christmas. There are just, it's winter. There are some that are just winter images, New Year's, just celebrations, things like that. So I've got 2 cards from that deck. I've also am using the charm cards from Mystic Moon Oracles, which looks like this on the back. The Signs from Spirit Love Oracle is also from Mystic Moon Oracles. Those will give some specific insight, perhaps things that you or your person like to do together, or something that was quirky about them. And then last, we've got messages of closure from All Things Intuitive. And we also have the Talking to Heaven cards by James Van Praagh. I don't know if I'm saying his name correct, but there will be a couple of specific messages that are meant to be, from this person, or something that you need to hear. All right, guys. So finally, without further ado, we are going to get started. Again, number one is the family, which is very beautiful. So these are pre-shuffled, but I have not seen them, so sometimes bear with me. It takes me a moment to kind of process everything that's coming through. I feel like clearly, for sure, what's coming through for me is a male that is crossed. I'm getting that this is either your father who, I don't know if you didn't have a mother, or your mother was more cold and he was kind of like your emotional support. He was the one that, cared for you in that way and provided for you. I'm also getting the possibility that this could have been your spouse, or your, father of your children. I'm getting that you have very fond memories, whoever this is. And I'm getting like a more mature energy in some capacity. That's why I was picking up on the father. But again, definitely a male who is crossed. So what we have from the tarot, we have the Seven of Cups. And this is, as you can see, a young woman here who is holding up her empty hand, in front of the Christmas tree. The Seven of Cups is, it's an energy of illusion, of fantasy, of daydreaming, and of opportunities. I feel like this is you kind of like holding out your hand. It's like it's empty. There's nothing there. But you can see she's smiling, and I feel like it's you maybe remembering them, the times that you spent with them, and very fondly looking at that. This person could have. Okay, let me backtrack here. Sorry, I had a message coming in, but let's go back to the tarot. The other tarot the reason that the male energy is coming through, we have the King of Cups. And as you can see in this deck, there's this dad and a little girl on his lap, and they're decorating the tree, and there's just so much happiness and love there. And so where I feel like, she's maybe having that happy memory of that with her dad, or of, the masculine, father of the child. But again, I am getting, I think, more strongly a father energy here. And most likely it was a dad who was, maybe a single dad with you, or your mom just wasn't emotionally present, is definitely kind of the vibe I'm getting. But again, take what resonates. Because again, anything I say, one thing that resonates, it could be a message that you needed to hear. So don't discount any of it, okay? So the divination deck, what we had come through was K, so their name in a C. So I got Carl, like we can spell that either way. There could be a tie to Kansas City. I had that come through. Maybe a Kansas City Chiefs fan from Kansas City, have family there, something like that. Okay, so could be a last name too, could be just anything that resonates with that for you. So, and yeah, it just came through too. So we got King of Cups, and then we got K and C, which, again, could be King of Cups. So this person I'm getting was just very, very loving, tender, caring, a very, very good person. They may, and this again, take it only if it resonates, they may have had issues with drinking, perhaps that contributed to some of the health issues they had. But I am feeling they lived a pretty long life. We've got, from the charm cards, we've got bottle. Now note here it says information. So you may very well have found a bottle, cleaning out their stuff. Maybe there was a note in it, a message in it, something that you found that, gave you some sort of closure. You very well might have put something out to sea, hoping to send a message to them. So, obviously if that was the case, and that's coming through, that is something that to know that they did get that message. And note here too, with the water, that's definitely the King of Cups, the water energy, definitely the love that's there. From the Signs from Spirit Love Oracle, we have beard and maturity. Note also the picture here is a gnome. So there could have been some sort of inside joke with gnomes, maybe garden gnomes, that they like to collect them, or they would give them to you, or you guys, something to that effect. I'm also getting a message about those little troll dolls. So I'm in my early 40s, so it was like back in the 80s, I think, when those were kind of a big thing. So I don't know if that resonates. But I'm getting a very, like I said, a very happy, warm energy here from whoever this person is. And so their message for you is, I support your path. So this is just beautiful. So I don't know if at some point perhaps there was a disagreement with, if you were in this type of energy, the Seven of Cups, where it's like, having these fantasies about, what type of career, like you wanted to maybe do entertainment, music, something like that. And, they wanted you to take a more traditional career path. I'm getting the message that, whatever you're doing now is paying off for you. And that if, you think that they weren't supportive of you at the time, they were just trying to look out for kind of your best interest, and they just, they wanted the best for you, and they were just being cautious. That could be where the C comes from. Cautious, kind but cautious, maybe a little overly too much, like wanting to baby you or not let you make your own decisions, right, about the path. But they want you to know, I support your path. And so this last one is just very, very touching. And it says, I always give you a good night kiss. So you may sense them, at bedtime. You might have these kind of memories of when they would tuck you into bed at night. And so this is confirmation that their presence is always there with you. I'm also getting, for some of you, if you're resonating with this is a a spouse that crossed over, or a significant other. Perhaps you've been stuck, wanting to, knowing that there's opportunities out there for you to move on, but you've been scared. You're afraid you're gonna, dishonor their memory somehow. I support your path, I feel like, is a message that you are supposed to move forward and have a life. They don't want you, to grow, grow old, and cold like a statue. They want you to live your life. They want you to travel. They want you to experience joy and not, sit your life away, wallowing in memories of them. And obviously, if they were your significant other, then getting the good night kiss is also a nice message for you. So I hope that was helpful if you chose number 1. And if you would like to, book a personal session with me, I offer customizable sessions that, we can do your own personal reading in this fashion, or to cover, any type of topic that you would like. So thank you so much, group 1. So we are moving on to group 2 now, which is remember. Okay. And if you guys didn't watch the other ones, I've pre-shuffled these, but I haven't seen them, so I kind of need some time to look through and get the energy that's coming in. Wow. So this is really interesting. This is really interesting that I'm getting a masculine energy coming through. And this one might be, I'm getting perhaps this one could be a son who had his demons. He had shadow and issues that he couldn't work through. He may have, in a rash, impulsive decision, reckless decision, either taken his own life or done something reckless in a vehicle, like driving erratically, something like that. I'm getting like a V. There's a V here, so that could be his name. Could have been Victor, Vance, something like that. But V for varsity, so I don't know if this was in high school that perhaps he passed. But what I'm getting is that, the reason I said that, he was in his head and had his shadows and things like that, is that you've got the 8 of Swords here. And the 8 of Swords, you can see he's cloaked, he's in the darkness. And the 8 of Swords is an energy of self-imposed imprisonment. It's swords is in your head, it's anxiety. This guy has the ability. He has the ability to easily spread, these lights apart. It's not like it's a cage that he's locked in. He's put himself back there, and he can't get himself out. So, I'm getting that perhaps you tried so many different things, right? And he's recognizing that. Like, you always made the holidays, a vibrant time for him and tried to coax him out of his shell, tried to, but it was his darkness. Like, there was nothing that you could do, is what's coming through. There was nothing you could do. The reason I'm picking up on masculine energy is because in the charm cards, we got masculine. I mean, it couldn't be more obvious there, right? Buck. So, obviously this represents masculine, but specifically, deer could be also a further validation for you if this you and or this person liked to go deer hunting or to go camping or to just be in the woods, or they like to eat deer meat, something like that. The impulsive energy that came through for me was, we had from the Signs from Spirit, we had rocket voyage, right? This is like a takeoff. Voyage is also a V, and V is vehicle. So that's where I'm getting that this could have been an accident, or some sort of, like I said, I don't know that he intended to kill himself, if that was ever the question, but I feel like it was just reckless behavior because he was so much in his head and this dark energy that he didn't really value his life or safety in the way he should have. I feel like some of you, you may see, because you can see there's like a green orb here. You may see these showing up in pictures and wondering, you were thinking about him. And sometimes, orbs, with the lighting, they show up commonly when you're looking at, taking a picture of the sun or the moon or something like that. But you'll know there's ways you can just tell that it's not just a reflection of light. And if you've been sensing that and thinking maybe you're crazy or you're imagining it, this is confirmation that that's not the case, that it is them coming through. And we'll get to that here in a moment. There's something else there for that. But I feel like, this now is you, most likely I'm getting, like I said, as the mother. Could also be a sibling as well, if this was your brother that passed. But we have the moon here, and this is you. It's just despair, right? You're just sitting in the cold, sitting in the snow. There's no warmth here. There doesn't look like there's much living. It's not like she's, sledding down a hill, and having exclaiming in joy and those types of things. She's just very much in a desolate, despondent energy. And I feel like this has been going on for years. This may very well have been 8 or 9 years ago that this happened. We have years here. That's why I'm picking up on that time frame. But it's been a long time that you've, I think, been in this, like you're afraid that feeling joy is going to dishonor their memory or somehow, like you shouldn't be allowed to be happy because you're carrying, I'm getting like you're carrying this guilt and this remorse and this, like, you could have done more to bring them out, right? But they had to bring themselves out. And so that's, I think, the biggest message that has to come through today is that there's nothing else you could have done. It was their own demons. They recognize the love, and they feel badly because they saw you trying. And there needs to be a balance, is what I'm getting. You chose remember, like remembering them and honoring their memory, but at the same time, you are still alive and you still have a life to live. And they want you to be set free. I feel like you're in this energy now where you're afraid to come out of the shadows. So what we've got from their message to you is happiness is not a betrayal of me. I mean, how beautiful is that, right? You are allowed to be happy. They want you to be happy. They want you to move on because it has been so long. They want you to, continue on your voyage. The V is very strong here. They want you to get up and, to come out of this, this darkness, this despair. And if you watched the beginning of the video, when I was doing the introduction and I was talking about wearing the butterfly necklace and the butterfly dress, specifically blue, I was really drawn to. You guys know I like to say that you can't make this stuff up, but the Talking to Heaven cards, just going to pull these really quick. Yeah, I'm just looking through them, and they all have different pictures on them. They don't, you guys can see there's all different things here. But this one, not all of them, has not just a butterfly, but a blue butterfly on it. So I feel like this may be something that you already are seeing or that you will start seeing soon, to know that that's a sign from them. I send you loving signs through nature. So they are trying to communicate to you through, animal totems. You may, blue jays also, I'm getting, blue jays, and then squirrels. I know squirrels are around a lot of places, at least in the Midwest, but I feel like there might be a unique one, like an albino one, something that's different. It may be how it interacted with you. the way it looked at you, something like that. And also these like dandelion little, I don't know what you call those, spores, those that fly through the air. Maybe you just had a thought about them and you see these flying through the air. So just know that they're one with the all. We are one with the all. And that the veil is getting thinner and thinner. And that if you do want to tap in, get out in nature. Get out in nature and get out in the sunshine and ask for signs from them. Ask and just sit in the stillness. And the biggest thing I can say too for you is to live your life. And if you need help with getting through the grief, right, it's important to feel those emotions. And I don't think those ever go away, even though they may in time get less frequent, but there probably are times you're triggered and you just feel it so deeply. I would highly recommend getting Apache tears. They are a form of black obsidian, but they're a very specific kind. I usually don't buy crystals from Amazon, but Apache tears on Amazon, I've had excellent luck with those. You can get a few of them in a bag, usually for under $20, and they're excellent for grief. Excellent when you're feeling those emotions rise, right? You can carry it on you could put under your pillow, but when you're having those moments where you're crying and you're feeling the grief, hold on to the Apache tears. You'll feel them get hot. You may feel them vibrate. They do absorb that energy from you, and it's a beautiful gift. So I would highly suggest working with those. I hope that helped you, number 2. Now we're going to move on to number 3, which is the strength. Okay, strength, number 3. If you guys have not watched the first 2, I'm going to give you the drill again. I pre-shuffled these, but I haven't seen them, so I need a little bit of time here to go through them. Wow. I'm going to pull a clarifier here. We didn't get any initials in the divination deck, and I like to have initials just to kind of help provide some clarity here. Not getting any initials. That's so crazy. There we go. All right. Okay. Okay, guys, let's see what we got. This is so interesting because this is the third, obviously the last video. And, again, I said at the beginning, I wasn't sure what was going to come through, but I guess, what people needed to hear today, as a mother, not necessarily the mothers that have crossed coming through, but I'm getting that perhaps this was, perhaps you are a mother and this is the father of your child, or you wanted this person to be the father of your child. I feel like whatever happened here was very, very quick and shocking and sudden. I mean, I feel like you may have just started out your life together. You were just talking about starting your life out together. And I feel like maybe there was some sort of an accident, perhaps when they were working outside, like they were trying to, maybe they were working too much to try to provide, and they were tired and just like something happened. So I'll show you guys what we've got here. In the tarot, it's interesting because there are 78 cards and only 4 kings in the deck. And we had 2 of the 4 kings come out in this in this one. And we had the King of Pentacles, so that you can see he's sitting there counting his money, and the King of Swords. And the King of Swords, he's out here chopping wood in the snow. So this could have been, that's why I was getting like some kind of a work accident, something, in the snow, like winter, there was like a car wreck. There was something that's very sudden that happened. What was interesting to me, not really interesting, but it just, the reason that I'm picking up on this energy from the divination deck, we got 0 and we got months. We also, from the charm cards, got stopwatch, time's up. I mean, it was just like whatever happened was so fast, so sudden and unexpected. I feel like, again, this person, I'm getting a heavy energy of overworking. They may have been a Capricorn. Again, take that could just be the energy of them. Capricorns are typically born in December or January, or they could have had a lot of that in their chart. But like maybe you were wanting to start a family, and they were just all about work, and they literally like either worked themselves to death, or they were tired and some kind of accident happened. This could be for a limited amount of you, or this could be somebody that, you're estranged from, that you divorced. But I'm getting more of it is that something happened quickly. And you may not understand, why. And so when I pulled the clarifier cards, the first 2 that came out were divine timing and 7. So there could have been something significant about 7, the 7th day of the month, the short amount of time perhaps that you had together. Their birth date could be the 7th, something like that. But the most important thing to note here is the divine timing and the time's up. So for reasons that we, may never understand, right? My belief and my understanding is that people have, I don't like to use the term, contract, soul contract. That's kind of a hard, there's debates about that because people do have free will, right? But I think there is a divine plan that we as co-creators, as souls, came in with a certain time frame, a certain, things that we were set to do or meant to do. And, why would somebody choose to be in this situation and go suddenly and leave things behind? And, that's something we may never be able to answer. But what I do want you to understand is that you need to be optimistic about your future, because you may be lost and may not understand right now what's happened and why. And you may never know the why, but you need to know that your life is not over. And that's probably why you chose the Strength. I'm feeling too with the 7 that like maybe by July is the 7th month, but it will have been 7 months since this happened. I'm getting that maybe this happened kind of recently. You will start being able to get out of bed every day and face the world and get your strength back. They may send you, sunflowers may be significant, or yellow flowers in general. The color yellow is important. Again, if you watched the beginning, the yellow calcite came through. I was saying yellow may be significant, or honey. But you can see this says confidence, success, happiness, optimism. So I think that's one of the biggest things, that you're asked to have going forward is faith. Faith that someday this may all make sense. And even if it doesn't make sense, you're going to be in a better place to where you're happy in your life and you you're like, okay, my life took this turn and I've learned these lessons from it and I've become a stronger person. And now now I can move forward with confidence. I found, you may have really relied on this person for a lot of things. And, maybe again, the financial aspect, like they were the breadwinner. But you are going to get through this, and you've just got to focus on the moments of joy, right? You may not feel happy every day, all day. You may not feel happy, every hour, but in a certain moment, can you look at, if you have a child, in your child's eyes or their laughter, and find joy in that and give gratitude. If you're eating a good meal, fresh, a salad or fruits, you feel the sunshine on your face, you smell flowers, you have a pet, and that pet looks up at you with those, those puppy eyes, or the cat purring, and you feel that love, right? Take the focus in that moment away from the grief and the loss and the despair, and give thanks for the joy and the beauty you have in that moment. And the more you do that, it starts snowballing, and you are able to focus more on the joy. And then you start feeling joy, and then you realize, oh, this feels better than dwelling on the sadness. It is important, though, to feel those emotions and to grieve. So, I would encourage you. I talked about this in number 2 as well, about the Apache tear crystals that are very good for grief. They are, I think you can get them still. I haven't in a while, but I frequently get them on Amazon, and they're great quality. You sit with them and you hold them, and you feel them heat up. You feel them vibrate as you release that grief. They absorb it. They're just a beautiful gift, and they really do help. So the messages that this person has for you, I see things differently now. So I think maybe, perhaps it was the work. Perhaps it's like, yeah, like that, I didn't focus on the right things while I was living. And perhaps that led to my demise. But they want you to know, I watch over you every day. And this is where, perhaps for some of you, you may see formations in the clouds. You may be out in nature and see those and feel like those are messages. And I think this is confirmation that's the case. And again, look, we have, I think these are dandelions. We have yellow flowers. So we have yellow flowers here twice. So I would say that's a significant for some of you. I did end up pulling 2 more of the divination deck, and we got L and we got W. So those again could be initials, could be, I got L and W, I got lawyer right away, so I don't know if this person was a lawyer, or if there were legal issues, like perhaps financial issues, maybe where they were working so much and got in a hole, and then like the stress took a toll on them. That's possible as well. But I think, again, the most important thing is for you to focus on the happiness, and even if you can't understand why things happened, right? And there's anger, and there's grief, and there's despair, divine timing. This person's time was up. For whatever reason. There are other things coming on your path that are going to bring you joy, and they're going to bring you happiness. So I want you to fully understand and believe that you can and you will be happy again. You've just got to start within each moment and not worry about the next moment or the next day, the next hour, the next week. Just live in the moment and find happiness in each moment, and it will get easier in time. So I hope that was helpful for you. If you would like to look into booking a session with me to either have your own personal reading, spiritual guidance, any type of, the combination, in Reiki energy healing of the services that I offer, that information can be found on my website down below. Thank you so much. Take care.